Good morning, this is Jennifer Barrera. Today on the network Tender Seed, Therapies or Therapy Stories Video Cine, Jennifer Barrera. I will be talking about some information that must be rendered and given to you if you're my client or you've been interested in Tender Seed therapies. If you're a client, we wish that you have a really good stay and you enjoyed everything. So if you're staying at the same place or you've been bored, we apologize for that. For me, it's work. And then there's been other reasons that will be addressed along the way. So I wish you're traveling. I wish you're enjoying yourself, doing something that you like. If you can, spend time with your family. If you can, spend time with your friends. And if you don't, then spend time with your own self. Good quality time with your own self. I would like to say I did put a restriction against all Quebecois because my work and therapies and everything done was never about any French Canadian. When I started, I was always abroad. So many other countries were addressed. I was harassed literally by French Canadian Quebecois and by my mother at some point. So without prejudice, kindly don't harass with your family and people since I'm the owner. Right? Sometimes people do mistakes. My mom was a small mistake in the past. French Canadian, they're bothersome. I'm not French Canadian, it's not my origin, I don't have to lie. I have two siblings and I have people that go out with that culture. If you're going out with that culture, you can stay in Quebec all your life. That's your decision, that's not mine. My purpose isn't to remain here. I have other provinces. I have the US and I have Latin American countries and I have many other countries that I'm interested in. Some people would love to see me. So I say this without prejudice. I do say this and I do state upon this given this specific place without wanting to create any offense and without wanting to be offending anybody. I don't have anything against French Canadian. I just don't have to comply to their law. So if a French Canadian tells them I'll teach them good morality, it's a good thing. I remember telling somebody I will never accept. Then somebody suggests something and you take and you do it and then you let them go. And you ask them politely, kindly don't ever be in my business. You're not the owner. You're nothing in this. Kindly said, right? We say without prejudice because we make money and clients pay when they like things. It gives them a reassurance. We have Hispanic that have gone out with French Canadian and they want to be with them, right? I don't have to do that. I don't have to lie to no one. I don't have to pretend that I'm helping them. If I helped a community, if I did in the past, then that's good. My business wasn't about them. So for reasons of that, I had to travel. I couldn't for specific people, and that goes against them. So trying to kill me or trying to insult me, and I'm stating this, well, it goes against that person. Doesn't use any logic. And I'm saying killing in a way, killing the moment, killing the business, killing even, I had to go in front of the country, the embarrassment that I had a boyfriend, and then I didn't have a boyfriend, a husband to be, a husband. And then there were cultural clash. There's a person who always gets in the way, and many people know. And when I was young, he's a person who has a mental issue, psychiatric issues. When two cultures don't understand each other, you don't harass a person. You comply to laws and protocols. My parents were good people, but they do mistakes in terms that they insisted maybe a month. Quebecois, they insist for years. They shouldn't, right? Their mistakes or flaws that they have. I don't have that. I'm not an Arab doctor. I'm not an Indian doctor, and I state this without offending anybody. Some people, they think on specific mindset, oh, that's very Arab. I'm not. So I say this so nobody is offended. The money that I earn isn't made upon any pathology of that. It's not made in any Arab countries. There's nobody who's stealing either from them. Sometimes people think, oh, she'll go to this place. Nobody's stealing from them. Nobody's taking from a mindset, so that's not the case at all. So if anybody has been talking from Lebanese to Quebecois, kindly do acknowledge Quebec is Quebec. You have to comply to every law. If I'm the owner, I'm the owner. If you didn't get help, rely on every other doctors that there is. Perhaps you're not my clients, and perhaps there's other reasons also. For any school institution that heard about my specific business, you have to comply to laws. For I did attend many institutions, from universities to private conservatories. My education is mine. I did develop this business because I wanted to, and nobody should be bothering for that reason. So if you want a system, kindly be aware that you have to ask me, not the government. The government has complied to making mistakes that they want to appear only political if we did not render or did not have specific money. Many of them can be good also, right? I'm not going to be evil or twisted minded. There is no reason. Many people at the government, Canadian government, try to do their work. Some did mistakes, and those mistakes were addressed by me to them. When a person's an owner and they can make money, and there was money, it was, not put forward, or laws were not specifically designed to protect me enough, and it's a lot, then it doesn't make sense. When it doesn't make sense, we comply to other laws and logic. The Supreme Court can testify on that as example. They can approve and reapprove, and I like to say that, but they can also testify as example. Some people, they have businesses and they say, this happened. They can use an example that laws do help, right? They help an owner, they help a person. There's banks, and there's one specific bank. I was never related to them, either to an Afro-American. They did bother my parents in the past. So kindly comply to all laws, as we have many evidence. So evidence does prove whom a person is, right? So kindly do understand that what is happening right now is that we're addressing information so nobody feels offended. We don't want to offend people, yet specific people might not feel, but it is the law. I myself, the owner, shouldn't be in Quebec. For reasons of polices and other people, they did stagger specific moments and how specific development are among a doctor here in Quebec. Restriction laws apply against them. I must be paid, I must be well, and many people also. So don't think it's only a simple shopping and then everything. It isn't. It's not only a matter of we purchase coats and then those codes mean something. And for some people, it does mean something. For one client in the past, it did mean something. For myself also, not anymore. Some people might find a reference to that. So it doesn't bring them to be, I believe there's been enough years and enough time that you specifically know enough of the business. There's other things that people don't know because there's privacy also. And there's also the matter that I have a life to live. So my life is not less. Also, the cinema must comply to laws. If you don't, then I will, I know how it works. They're very fast, elderly people with their computers. Kindly respect laws. What I know is what I know. And there's many people connected. So it's always good that you respect that a movie is done in a set, in a studio. You don't have to have quebecois with you and comply. You can actually only live in California and make movies there. If there's a problem and conflict, when I say that an owner shouldn't be bothered. I state this without prejudice with all laws, and the martial law can be applied to this. Martial laws do exist in Canada. They do exist in the U.S. The court can approve and seal upon this. And they approve, they can have any development how they wish. The judge is best equipped to give that information. But I can attest that what I say is not a mistake. Putting a lot of people at some point was a mistake. But people did like therapy. They wanted to kind of sense what it is good for them. But they had to respect laws. And I did say it because it is for the well-being of many clients and then other people. Right? Some people here, and a person who is not wealthy will not be denied in a hospital. A person who's not at a private clinic either. Nobody has to feel that they can't do their living and they can't study or they can. That's not true. That would be against all human rights, and that is not what I promote. Obviously, there's times when in society can be a bit harder, and anybody can have lived that, but kindly do acknowledge this. So I'm against the cinema of any person saying a person is rejected. I am not rejected. Being a lonely person or working or addressing specific can be one thing, but rejected among is not what I encourage. So I wish that you can understand this if anybody's going to cinema, and I'm not diminishing. I'm just stating because it is the law, and I have a business and I should be somewhere else. So I must wish that this is clear also for any actors who did and kind of have to go. Any message that was too much messages, we apologize from my end to somebody else who was with me. But we had to address so many things. And there's so much more, but I think we're clear. We have a clear to go. So I wish people can take these years as a good example of what can be good and then other things that can be encouraged. So wishing people, if they're going to production, if whatever they've developed and they got inspired, it's good for them. But wishing you can also understand this. Thank you and have a good day. Bye-bye. Wishing you do something you love.